Alright, this one goes to a writer who asked for a story about a group of friends who rented a remote cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway, only to find out it was being stalked by a Wendigo. And as the storm outside the cabin raged on, so did the terror inside. So let's just get into it. A blizzard raged outside the isolated cabin, wind snatching at the wooden walls as if trying to claw its way inside. The four friends huddled closer to the fire, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. The power had been out since they arrived, and the storm had only gotten worse, making it clear that they were in for a night of it. There was no phone signal, no way to contact anyone, and a growing sense of dread that something was watching them from the raging blizzard outside. It had started subtly. A twig snapped, a branch scraped against the window pane. But the more they heard, the more they realized it was not the wind. It was something big, something heavy moving just outside their line of sight. Whatever it was, it seemed to stalk the perimeter of the cabin, always present, always watching, but never coming inside. Then the fire started to die down, and with it, their courage. It was then they noticed the unsettling silence. The wind had died down, the snow stopped falling. Outside, an unnatural quiet pressed against the windows, heavy and expectant. They could hear each other's breathing, the crackling of the dying fire, the pounding of their own hearts. Then the first scream tore through the silence. It was Sarah, her voice raw with terror. "What was that?" she cried, scrambling back from the window. John went over, his face pale in the firelight. He looked out into the swirling white expanse but could see nothing in the driving snow. "It's probably just the wind," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. They tried to go on like before, pretending the scream had not shattered the fragile calm. But the laughter was forced, and the silence was thick with unspoken fears. Then Mark vanished. One moment he was there, sitting by the window watching the storm, and the next he was gone. They called out his name, but there was no reply. They searched for him, their voices echoing in the vast emptiness of the cabin, but they found no trace of him. Had he slipped out into the storm? Why? And where had he gone? As the hours passed, they grew more and more paranoid, suspicion gnawing at their frayed nerves. They argued, they shouted, they fought, and then one by one, they too began to vanish. First it was Emily, then David. They found Sarah in the morning, her eyes wide with terror, her body sprawled on the floor, her lifeblood staining the snow-covered ground. Only John was left, and as the blizzard outside finally began to abate, he looked out into the swirling snow, his face etched with fear and understanding. He saw the tracks now, the huge, heavy footprints that were not his own. And in the center of the circle, the spot where Sarah had stood, he saw the telltale signs of a struggle. He stumbled out into the clearing, the wind whipping at his clothes, the cold biting at his skin. In the distance, he saw the tracks leading away from the cabin, disappearing into the white expanse of the forest. He followed, his breath forming white clouds in the frigid air. And as he went deeper into the woods, he felt a growing sense of dread, a premonition of what he would find. Then he saw it, the Wendigo, its eyes fixed on him, its teeth bared in a silent snarl. It was huge, its body a grotesque parody of a human form, its limbs twisted and gnarled like the branches of a dead tree. Its skin was stretched tight over its bones, and its eyes burned with an otherworldly fire. John screamed, turning and running, the wind screaming in his ears, the snow stinging his face. But the Wendigo was faster. It was on him in an instant, its claws raking down his back, its teeth tearing into his flesh. And as John's life ebbed away, he understood that he was not the hunter's prey, it was the next host.